Is
But
there
we
a
need
battle this?
we need
Is
the
there a
FC
battle
community to
Sunday?
help us
No,
out. Bad.
there's no battle. Easter.
I have a question. Is there battles this Sunday?
No. It's Easter Sunday. There
No.
won't be battles. No.
Frick! Because this is the only time I'm in that I have my Xbox.
That
Get
seems
your
to
head
happen
out
to you a
of
lot.
Yeah, I
here.
only
Yeah,
have my Xbox for this.
I wasn't
Oh!
there for the battle, so I can't really say how they went.
Anybody,
Nathonian was setting up, so I'm sure you can comment more on that.
yeah, anybody else that was actually there want to, elaborate on what went down?
Anyway, I don't know. The whole battle night was just weird. I wasn't even there, but I was watching the stat book the whole time. It was like I saw one game. I think it was Conflict. One Red lost by like 1 or 2 kills. You get close games like that, and then you get games where it's like fucking Blue 40,000 to Red 3
Were
on
there
Conflict.
were there any specific teams that were making those outcomes happen, or was it just
It was pretty much general, unless there was one team that was doing it more than the other one. But it's just, it's kind of like the same as last war. Last war we had like pretty much the same on the first battle night, but then we started practicing more. But it's like you can only get so much during these weeks. You can only get so much practice in, and we're practicing. But it's like time's not even against time. Is everything is against us on time. We don't have enough time to practice and get better because we got all these new recruits, and then you have to get them used to the whole system, and then you have to like fucking train them. And the Blues doing the same thing, and they do have a skill gap, so it's like you're kind of fighting an uphill battle.
Yes.
right?
And we're aware of that.
So hard, but we are taking countermeasures.
Yes,
Yes.
we are. I know you guys are. I know you're trying really hard over there in red, but sometimes that's just not good enough. And right
Sure.
now, I know Yeezus, the colonel over there in blue, worked his ass off for blue to organize what he did, and he does a lot for us, and I understand that. But at the same time, we have to try to work something out together as a community as a whole to make the battles more fun and enjoyable for everybody. I've said this many times before, like, our community is shrinking only because Halo Reach is dying off, in my opinion. It's not a big game anymore, not like it used to be when it first came out. Ever since, like, after Halo 2 and when Halo 3 came out and ODST and Reach, it just doesn't seem as big as it used to be.
Right.
That's just my 2 cents on that, but that's why I think, like, our community is somewhat suffering, if you want to say it's suffering, but there was just a drop-off point. It happens every war towards the end of a game. After
True.
Halo 4 gets released, hopefully that will just, ignite the flames again.
That's what I'm hoping, is that when Halo 4 comes out, we'll see an influx of members. But at the same time, when Halo 4 comes out, I'd also like to see the people of FC really going out there and doing stuff to have FC reach out to the community that's going to flourish again. And
Yeah,
hopefully
I
bring
mean,
in...
elaborating on that, FC is only as good as you'll make it to be. We need members to help out to make it better. Like, only the leaders can't do everything, the War Council can't do everything. If you want FC to be a fun place, we need the actual regular member to help us out when we ask you to help out. If you don't want to help out, that says a lot about your character.
Right. I mean, there's not a problem with being along for the ride and just wanting to play in Battle Nights. That's nothing wrong with
No.
that. But at the same time, you can't claim to be something you're not.
Yeah. We have so many members nowadays that just want to come along for the ride. And they think it's a lot of work doing something for the community, like being an officer or something, but it's not even that. Out there and just have some fun. Regardless of what the rules and regulations that the War Council throw out and lashes out against you, it shouldn't affect you that much.
Alright.
I will come through that screen and punch you.
Oh, it smells so good in this room.
So overall, Blue kind of swept the Battle Nights. I'm guessing that it wasn't exactly an enormous amount of fun for a lot of people that night.
I heard some people had fun. I heard a lot of people actually had fun.
Well, it's good to
What
hear
a
that people
fail.
had fun despite it, and that's what it's about. Okay, so What about events in FC? Is there any? I check in every once in a while, and I don't see too many events anymore. Um, has there been anything going on that anybody
Since
has
the
seen?
battle started up again, there hasn't been any other events going on other than the battles.
It's
I
hard to do
host
events.
random giveaways for shirts and stuff if you want to consider that being events, but I'm not going to be doing that for a while.
I know a little bit ago we tried to get like some tournaments set up, but it's hard to do. It's hard to get activity on the events, and it's hard to like please everyone because the last tournament that I did was like MLG style thing, and obviously not a lot of people like playing MLG style. So that like the only people who showed up was probably the most active slash the most competitive guys in FC. It's just hard to get an event that pleases like everyone to get a great turnout.
Yeah, there are a couple. You have to promise things to people, and
Which sucks.
hope that you are able to deliver, which is what happens with a lot of Halo 3 nights. But in my opinions, the Halo 3 nights and some of the custom maps in Halo Reach were some of the most popular nights and most effective. So the tournaments, I feel like it's hard for people in FC to go about the battles and then also go about something else that's competitive. Except
Yeah.
for like you said, the really competitive hardcore guys.
Meh. You know what you should just host? You should just host like a zombie game night. I'm sure you've done that in the past, but
That's a good
have it
idea.
like maybe you can have a tournament where whoever lasts the longest wins. I don't know. Just something
They win
random. I
my
mean, like,
undying support and love through good times and bad. And if they don't like that reward, they can shut up.
So what do I
they
get
can
if I
always drink the
win?
water and coagulation.
Congratulations, you just killed 5,000 enemies in a row. I love you.
Drink the water.
That's it. That's it. That's your reward. Now drink the water.
Nobody gets that joke except for the Halo 2 veterans.
I wasn't even
I don't-
there and I get that joke.
All right. So here's a couple interesting things to talk about. Operation Firestorm.
Oh, don't you go there. You,
Don't
sir,
do it.
have just opened a big can of worms.
That's the fun of it, though. That's what makes it interesting. Anyway,
babies
how does everybody here think it turned out?
It worked. I think it worked on. Everyone just thinks that Operation Firestorm was just about balancing the armies and shit. It wasn't. That was like one part. But I think it worked out a lot in a lot of different places because it like it kind of turned the attitude of a lot of people. It switched over from like let's win to hey, these are FC values and shit. It started like putting in more of the experienced veteran leaders to kind of like I don't know, guide the newer guys. Balancing the armies that didn't go too good, but
No. When I started Operation Firestorm, I wanted people to actually balance it themselves and let the community, go wherever they wanted to. I was hoping they would understand what I was trying to get at. Apparently they didn't, and they just wanted to stay in
Longer
the
did.
same army for the most part.
Exactly.
Fine, I understand that. And now I'm going to other people to see if they can voluntarily switch again, and hopefully that will make the armies balance again, because we're getting to the point, like I said earlier, that we're at an all-time low in member base, and we need people to help out more than ever. And it's greatly appreciated when you decide to switch to help, the competitive side even more competitive. Because, hey, you know what I want to see again? Red winning more than one battle and maybe perhaps winning a map again. That's just me, because I'm getting sick of seeing blue flags all the time. I'm sure most people in red do, obviously. I know the War Council's sick of it. It's a big red flag. It really is, in my opinion.
that's a pun. Because there's no red flag.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a joke I wasn't even trying to attend for, but yeah.
Red
That's
is
where good
unintentionally
comes in.
funny.
But what I have seen though is I have seen new members, which is nice in FC. For a
Yeah.
while, there when I was still active back before, there were new faces. I mean, the same faces forever. I didn't see too many new members, but now I'm
Well-
seeing a few dribbling in through the lines here.
The trick is to keep them now too, though.
Well, the
Yes.
thing is, what the leaders have to do is to actually put them in, with the leaders of the units, and actually, contact them and actually have practices, and the members that show up actually have to go to those practices if they can, and at least show up for the battles on Sundays. I mean, the recruits join to hopefully join because of the battles, and if they can't participate in the battles on Sundays, then there's not much reason why you're kind of joining, unless you want to troll the forum boards and just have some fun there. But our whole community is based around Sundays.
Sundays, Sundays, Sundays.
Good thing I don't go to church.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Monster Dome.
Well, church wouldn't really. I don't think
Monster
church
Dome.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Come see Red lose.
Oh.
Sunday.
Don't forget, Sunday.
Did I mention Sunday?
All right.
Hey, Raz, didn't see you there.
God.
Okay. Okay. What are the plans for the next battle night? Anybody can
Okay.
enlighten me?
Talking about like, the
Gargoyle.
actual attack plans?
Yeah, the attack plans. What's shaking down? What's going on?
I don't think we can disclose that information yet because I don't know if Methonian would know that
Yeah.
since he's our war director, but
I don't know we made that.
think we're ready to do that yet.
They have
I
not
don't
been
know if
announced
you-
yet. I have not received them from both sides yet.
Well,
Waiting on
Red
Ghost
knows
Hammer.
theirs. Does that
So
make
Blue- Blue's gonna
get
do
Ghost Hammer to send them
something.
to me.
And Red's gonna do something. We just don't
Exactly.
know what.
Fortunately,
Tune in
sneak
next
peeks
week.
are frowned upon here at the podcast.
Hoping to get them posted tonight or tomorrow.
That should be fun.
Oh, get in the basket!
So, Myth, how's the stat book going? Is that turning out well?
It's going pretty good. Was redesigning some portions of it to try to make it easier to find things, and still working on that. It's still under construction. Got some couple more people volunteering to help out. A lot of the people that were volunteering to help out before are still doing it.
That's good. That's good.
I never understood, like, well, you have to be in the battles to be on the stat book, I guess.
Alright. So, since it is such a rare sighting to have Raz a part of anything, we're gonna give him an interview.
Oh, fuck me.
Joking aside, of course. So, Raz, how and where and why? You're the founder of, one of the founders of FC. How did that come about?
Well, kids gather around the campfire, grab your popcorn and your girl, and snuggle up by the tree, because I'm going to tell you a story.
I have a girlfriend.
Way back when, in 2005, I joined a community called Red vs. Blue Wars. It was ran by a guy named DX Doug. He was the leader of Red, and a buddy of mine, we were playing, I don't know if you guys remember in Halo 2, we played a lot of Warthog-like games, like Crash, Derby, and Coagulation. I don't know if you guys remember doing that at all, but
Love those.
Oh,
I was playing on that, and my buddy Silver Dagger was part of this community, and he said, "Hey, want to join a war?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "A war between Red Army and Blue Army." "Oh, you mean Red vs. Blue Wars and matchmaking?" He's like, "Oh, no, not like that." So he told me about boot camp and stuff, and back then, the boot camps for Blue Army were 3 days long. 3
Holy
days.
shit.
I had to show up for 3 separate days in order to graduate. The first time I went through it, I pulled my buddy aside, Silver, and like, "I fucking hate this. I don't like being talked down at all. I don't know what I'm fucking doing here." And he's like, "Calm down, Raz. Calm down. Calm down. You'll make it." And then, um, 2 days later, I graduated. I was never a private. I got promoted to the rank of sergeant because I did so well. 2 months later, I got somehow I became the leader of the entire Blue Army. And I had a lot of ideas to help Red vs. Blue Wars, get better. And Doug didn't want to hear anything of it. And I decided to take the entire Blue Army and create our own thing. We created Chronicles of Wars. That was a fail in itself. We decided instead of 2 armies, we would have 4 armies. It was red, blue,
Damn.
green, and yellow. That was a hell of a thing to organize. We didn't even have a single battle. The community lasted 1 month, and after 1 month, it was dead. 2006 rolls around, and we joined a community, or I did, called Allies vs. Axis. It was founded by a Card M6, and it was basically World War II in Halo 2. It was like we had the U.S. Army, the Soviet Union, Japs, and the Nazis. And that lasted, a good portion, maybe about a half year or so, and then we moved on, and I didn't want to do war communities, and a guy came up to me, Neth Private Tucker, and a custom game on Midship in Halo 2, and he says, Raz, when are you going to bring back the wars? I'm like, I don't know, Tucker. Maybe I'll do it soon. So summer of 2006 rolls around, and I create Red vs. Blue Retaliation Wars with Spartan BH, Mad Squirrely Dude, Tyranny 90, and others. And we changed we started with like 8 people in a lobby. We split off into different armies. I had led the Red Army, and others led Blue, and we just, invited our friends, and we've just been around ever since. We changed our name to Forward in a Conflict once we hit Halo 3, and we've evolved and changed so much over the years, and I'm just proud of the community and all the people that we had. I just wish we had more of a core member base that joined throughout the years and stayed with us, but people move on, people get lives, and yeah, that's how FC started, and that's how we have this today. And I think, for the most part, we are the only war sim community around Halo. I mean, I don't see much anymore. We're pretty unique.
I know there's a couple others, but I don't know their names. I just know they're out there. I've heard about them before. But that's genuinely interesting to hear how that all came about. But
I was hoping it would.
no,
I feel too damn old.
It's nice to
Raz asking for an interview before this had nothing to do with it.
right.
I had nothing to do with it.
Shh.
I didn't
Oh,
ask.
no,
I was
no.
just wondering.
No,
I would
no,
think people kept asking me, like, in custom games in Halo, like, how did the wars get started? What happened? And I was like, ask me again when I have time. And we're doing this quote unquote podcast. I kind of have time, so that's my little spiel. Spartan can tell you
My
more
little
stories. Tyranny can tell you stories. Ghost can tell you a lot of stories too.
I've heard a lot of stories from Cody.
I made a kid cry. Well, 2 people actually.
Oh, yeah. Cody told me that story. I love you.
it was boot camp.
Raz, can you tell us his story?
Yeah, sure. It was boot camp for Red. It was in Halo 2. No, it wasn't boot camp. No, it was some guy was acting up. His name was BK32. And what we did for punishments back then was we took him in a custom game with the entire Red High Command with just him. I told him to run in the middle of the map, and we constantly killed him and tell him to run back. Kill him again, run back, kill him again, and we kept yelling at him, bitching at him. Hey, you want to be in part of FC, do you? Do you, motherfucker? Do you? And then he came running back, and we heard this whimpering sound. We were all silent, and we looked at him, and we're like, I asked him, "Are you crying?" And he's like, "No, sir, I'm not crying." After that, I said, "All right, you had enough. Don't fuck up again around Foreign Conflict. If you want to be part of FC or Red vs. Blue Retaliation Wars at the time, you're not gonna fuck around anymore." He's like, "Yes, sir." He was never a problem. Later on, we banned him though. So he was only a kid. He was a squeaker. So
Oh yeah, it was
Well, it's
never a
great
problem
when things
for
like
we
that work
banned
out.
him, but
yeah.
oh man,
He
I
was
remember
to say
when Red
that
Leader made a kid's
highlight
Stumbleweed.
of my entire career doing something